What's up, student body? Class is back in session. As you guys know, there's a ton of controversy going on right now with just Pearly Things and some comments that she's made recently. But first, let's take the opportunity to make a few announcements. We are live streaming every Monday and Tuesday. We start about 8 p.m.
We got
the girls get here.
The girls get here at 8. We start roughly 8:30, 9 p.m. Guys, we really want you guys to send in your ideas for the videos, for reactions. Make sure you guys are hitting that Cash App, hitting that super chat. We got some movie reviews, maybe a movie review coming up soon.
Yeah, we'll probably do John Wick 4, but we're still taking suggestions on older movies that already exist. I know one of the ladies wants to come back and watch Creed 1 and 2. Since we took some chicks to the movies to see 3, she wants to kind of see the older ones, and some of the girls that went to the movies also want to see the older Creeds. You guys got to have your questions ready for the girls, bro, so we can fire off when they're here.
Please.
Repeat, every Monday and Tuesday, we will have ladies in the house. They get here anywhere from 7 to 8, but what happens, guys, we end up hanging out with the girls. We like to have some fun with the girls. Bro. But anyhow, but we will start live streaming by 9 p.m. So basically, show starts at 9. You got any announcements?
No, but we did just a really cool interview or exchange with Pearl on Obsidian's channel, and I think that as Allende says, court was definitely in session.
Court was definitely in session. So what happened, guys, is that I reached out to Pearl to see if that we could interview her and kind of figure out what's going on with this, let her tell her side of it. I mean, everybody's trying to crucify the poor young girl. So I said, you know what, let me take a look at what's going on. Let me construct some questions, and let me, try to basically get her side of it. So when I reached out to her to interview her, she said, listen, I'd love to do it, but I'm already, obviously a million people want to talk about it. So she was already scheduled to go on Obsidian's channel. If you don't know who Obsidian is, check it out. He's an OG in the Black YouTube space. So he's done a ton of things for Black YouTube. A lot of young guys probably aren't familiar with him. But so she extended the invite and said, why don't you just come on there and ask me the questions?
I'm not going to beat around the bush for this conversation. I'm going to get straight to the point. Pearl, you f***ed up. You knowingly invited a white supremacist and a self-proclaimed racist onto a platform which is primarily supported by, at least initially, and produced by Black people.
And these are the questions we asked her, guys. You can stay tuned to get her answers. The first question was, how much did you know about Nick Fuentes prior to interviewing him?
Then we asked, what was your intentions for interviewing him?
Why did you not have someone on as a counterpoint?
Every day, and sits around and talks about our relationships. And one of the fundamental differences and things that separates Black Americans, especially foundational Black Americans, from every other group of Americans that come here, that slavery stuff. You don't know enough about slavery to refer to it as, you just call it stuff? That's what you're telling me? And you Black folks who sit amongst her, you sitting there talking about relationships with her? She doesn't even know enough about your experience to refer to the atrocities and the Holocaust that we had to deal with, the genocide. She refers to that as stuff, like stuff happens.
What do you think your relationship is to the Black community?
What Just Pearly Things did say. Now, it's true. She does hire Black people. She has given brothers and sisters out there in Blackland an opportunity that they probably wouldn't have had. Shout outs to her, right? But just because you do that, it doesn't give you the right to say the things that she said.
Would you describe your Black viewers as in support of Pearl or simply supporting the content?
I've said this once, I've said it twice. I said, me personally, I will never discuss any of the issues that my people have with them, because I understand that it gets them off. I understand that the concept of talking about racial disadvantages, the history of slavery, that excites them, okay? They have civil rights museums, like they love to see it, because deep down inside, that's what they really want. That's why Pearl is a modern day female slave master, where she talks about how her good Africans are the best workers for her.
Would you describe yourself as in support of the Black community, or is it just about the content on your channel that you're passionate about?
So your drift is moving. You came over here, you paid Black men to get you in this space, used it up, got your money, and now you gonna drift off to somebody else, the Daily Wire, and trying to be a political phenomenon.
Are you planning to continue with the same style of content with the same demographics?
That's an easy conclusion, but you used it to get big and grow and make a huge platform. make a huge platform. More than likely, what she's going to do is not join the alt-right. She's going to use that giant platform to basically start competing with, the Vlad TV or Adam 22.
Was the interview with Nick a pivot and signs of a future lane change?
What's your name? Kunta. Lord God help that boy.
Why would you use Roots as a fiction? Sorry, why would you use Roots, which is a fictional story, as an example of the severity of American slavery? So I'm saying severity, how severe it was. Am I pronouncing that word?
Severity. Yeah, that's right.
This is one of the parts I had issue with. Yeah, Blessing always like African, African. Oh, niggas. Okay. And then he's like, well, we expect it from Nick Fuentes because he's the white supremacist. Yeah, he's black. He likes saying that. He's black. Oh, okay. All right. So, all right, Nick. Again, we expect that from him. Okay. Blessing. African. Not that we don't know this, y'all. Okay. Not that we don't know these things, because I just assume that this is how they talk behind closed doors anyway.
Why didn't you give Nick Fuentes, this is important, why didn't you give Nick Fuentes more pushback on his views and comments like you do the women on your show?
Or do you co-sign, align, or agree with his views and ideology?
I wasn't really offended by it. It really had to I had to listen to it about 2 or 3 times to kind of understand why everybody else was so upset about it. You know what I mean? Then after that 3rd time, I was kind of like, Pearl, you should have just found another example outside of slavery.
Do you think Nick should have a major platform to spread his beliefs? And if so, why did you have him on your platform?
And yeah, guys, we didn't fumble through any of those questions when we asked Pearl.
Yeah. No, we did it in one take.
Yeah, we got through it A+. So anyway, guys, with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get to that clip from the Obsidian stream. Mm-hmm. But obviously, for the full stream, or at least to get all of Pearl's answers and feedback, please go ahead and go check it out. Like, comment, share, do whatever the heck it is that you do. Mm-hmm. But make sure that you're also subscribed to our new channel, Mentuition Academy. Also, I'm still doing consults, guys. So I know there was some confusion. Guys were like, oh, where do we contact you at? So you guys can still email me. The email's in all the descriptions, or there's also a business number that you can text. So you can go ahead and schedule your consults if you got any questions, anything that you need to talk about, anything that you got some questions on, something that you're dealing with, you're struggling with. I also advise guys to contact me before you do something stupid. A lot of you guys wait until you after you did whatever the heck it is you did, and then you get the consult and it doesn't work out. It's like, bro, you could have got a consult prior to that,
before,
and we could have probably tweaked that plan a little bit better. Yeah, man. But anything else before we get into the clip?
Yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe to the Mentuition Academy Instagram at Mentuition Academy. Also, same on TikTok at Mentuition Academy. Let's get into the clip.
Check us out.
You're listening to Obsidian Radio, and I am your host, Mumia Obsidian Ali. It is Sunday, March 26, 2023. I want to welcome everybody. Now, for those of you who may not be aware of this, I covered the interview in its entirety. It was a 3-hour-long interview. And I'm talking between Just Pearly Things and Nick Fuentes. I did not clip it. I did not use any segments out of it or edit it in any type of way. I let it roll from front to back. You can check that out on this channel right here. I just did that. I covered it for 8 hours yesterday. So you can see for yourself and you can make your own decisions. So there's that. Ms. Just Pearly Things asked me to reach out to the content creators and I did. I emailed them personally. I also posted it on my community tab, an open letter, an invitation for all of them to come out and have a conversation with Just Pearly Things. Whether you agree or disagree with Just Pearly Things, I think it's fair to say a number of them, not all, but a number of them have already registered that they will not be joining us this evening. That's their choice. Let me go to Authentic Alphas. They've been waiting very patiently. I want to give them a chance to jump in. Authentic Alphas, you're on the air with Just Pearly Things.
What's going on, man? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's on the panel. Obsidian, we want to let you know we do value and appreciate what you've done for the Black YouTube community.
Thank you.
This is actually my co-host right here. You guys know me. I'm the founder, and I run Authentic Alpha's channel. He's my co-host here on my new channel.
What's up, guys? My name's King. Thanks, Obsidian. What's up, Pearl? We run a very similar podcast to what Pearl's doing, the Mentuition Academy. So we thank you guys for having us on. We just have a couple quick questions. You guys,
go right ahead.
Pearl answered a bunch already, so we only have like 3.
Yeah, yeah, you got most of them out of the way.
You did a really good job.
Okay, so these are just a couple of things that we think are key points. We want to get Pearl's answer on it because we think it's very important. We're not here to virtue signal, but I think this is the grit of the conversation. So what do you think your relationship is to the Black community, Pearl, or how would you describe it?
I think that I think some of them watch my content. I think that's a percentage of my audience. I don't think that's the majority in my opinion, but I'd guess like maybe 20 to 30%.
Okay.
Would you describe your Black viewers as in support of Pearl, or simply just in support of your content, your actual content?
I think it depends on the viewer. Sorry, that's a woman answer. It depends. I do this on the show. But I would say,
sorry, excuse me. Before we go any further, see, this is what I mean when I say that I'm not going to put up with any, crap like this in my house. So, Mr. Scott, we have one to beam up.
You got to get that sound effect.
Yeah, I like that.
Go ahead, Pearl. You were saying.
I think people come to my channel for entertainment, and I think there's a subset of like diehard fans, that are more like for Pearl. But I would say, I don't know, maybe half and half ish, or maybe 60-40 roughly.
Okay. I mean, I don't know about you, King, but I feel like I've supported Pearl because of Pearl as an individual. I feel like the content could be found elsewhere. And we only say this because I think what a lot of people would say is that the Black community has supported you and kind of been the pillars that have built you up. At least that's the word on the street. But before you respond to that, would you describe yourself as in support of the Black community, or is what you do just in passion for the content itself?
Are you talking about the reason for my content? I would say the reason for my content is to support men's issues and create media that advocates for men's issues. I wouldn't say it's specifically about race. It's more about men's issues.
Okay. Pearl, do you plan on continuing with the same style of content with the same demographic?
The same. Well, I plan on keeping on doing my shows. I'm doing a documentary soon. I think that's like my next big project is I'm doing a documentary on the court system here in the UK and the laws and how that affects men.
Okay, that sounds helpful. All right, one more thing here on this same similar topic. Was the interview with Nick a pivot or a sign of a future change in your content?
I would say I am going to do more one-on-one interviews in the future. Part of that's in the documentary. I'm doing a lot of one-on-ones. I wouldn't really say a pivot. It was just more like, I think a lot of people thought this was a lot more thought out than it was. And it was just more, I was just curious. So I had him on the show. He was willing to come out and I said, okay, fine.
All right. Now, the reason why we say that is because a lot of people feel that maybe you've exploited the Black community. I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying that I feel that way, but talking to a lot of people, they feel that you've somewhat manipulated or somehow exploited the Black community for their support. And now you're trying to kind of pivot to a more, what would you say, conservative or more white, pro-white audience. What would you say to that?
I think I've been conservative the whole time. So I think me being a conservative, like, you know how long I've been doing, and I'm not trying to bring like a whole nother issue into this, but like pro-life stuff, like I've been doing that for, I don't know, since I started. So I don't think me being conservative is a secret, and me like pivoting full on into conservative content. I don't see myself doing that.
Okay. Obsidian, do we have time just to get two more, a little bit tougher questions in? Still on the same topic?
Go ahead.
Okay. Why didn't you give Nick more pushback on his views, his comments, like you do the women on your show?
He just knew more about me, about everything on like every issue. And it just wasn't my wheelhouse, if I'm being honest.
Well, I mean, were you just taking his word for it that what he was saying was true? I mean, was there any kind of fact checking or anything like that?
No, there should have been. There was not. I would just say it was incompetence on my part.
Fair enough.
Okay. Do you co-sign, do you align, or do you agree with any of Nick's views or ideologies, or were you just kind of not giving him pushback because he was a guest and you wanted to be respectful of his ideas?
I mean, I definitely do not deny the Holocaust. I definitely do not. I mean, he's conservative, so I'm sure we have some views that we align on, but for the most part, no, I don't agree with stuff he was saying when it pertains to like the edgy stuff.
All right, one more, Pro. We're gonna leave you alone.
Okay.
Do you think that Nick should have a major platform to spread his beliefs?
I would say that again.
Do you believe that Nick should have a major platform to spread those beliefs?
I believe in freedom of speech, but I don't think I was the right one to do it. So I believe in freedom of speech. Anyone can have a platform to say anything. I think if someone wants to put out dumb ideas, they can do that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the next place I was going. Well, why your platform though? Why would you have lent that platform to him for that?
Again, I was just curious about how he got his bank account banned and how he got his. He was just so notorious. I just wanted to see if it was true or not. So, you know, it wasn't. Again, as I said before, it was stupid.
Pearl, can you remind us how old you are one more time?
I'm 26.
Yeah, it's safe to say we all make mistakes, and I think 26 is still a very problematic age.
Yeah.
Excuse me. See, this is what I'm talking about. And this is the reason why black people can't have nice things. Mr. Scott wanted to beam up. I'm sorry, please continue.
Oh man, Obsidian, I love that.
We need that.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So one quick bonus question, that's what I call it, at least, Pearl. There have been some YouTubers that came out recently that don't agree with your viewpoints and not your viewpoints, but Nick's viewpoints and you having him on the show. Mm-hmm. What do you say to some of the YouTubers that sort of, I don't want to use the word disowned, but there are some certain YouTubers like Mediocre Tutorials, Melanie King, a bunch of people you've recently had on a show that have put out videos saying they are no longer going to do any more content with you. I just want to know how you feel about that. Have you responded to that? And have they reached out to you?
I mean, I was sad, you know, I'm not going to hide it, you know. It's especially sad because the dating show we filmed was so good. You guys don't even know what you missed. It was so funny.
You and Mediocre Tutorials? That's what you're talking about?
No. Oh my gosh. No, both of them. But Melanie King's episode was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But, you know, I mean, it was sad, but I understood. There was no ill will. I understand, like, why they did what they did. So there's no malicious. I think a lot of their criticisms were fair. So
wait, you're gonna have to elaborate on that. We'll
have to do that. We'll have to do that another time because Just Pearly Things time is limited. You want to continue Just Pearly Things?
Oh, I just was curious what he was going to ask.
All right, go ahead. I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, what do you think that reason was? Because I think that people make mistakes. Fellow YouTubers, content creators, we make mistakes. I don't think it's a reason to stop working with someone or distance yourself to that degree. So why do you think their reason is?
I think it was because I didn't address it at the time. So yeah, I think that was why. But I don't know. I try not to.
So those videos will never get posted. You're just going to keep them in the tuck. Then none of this will never come out, basically, is what you're saying.
It's up to them. If they want me to let it out, then I will. If they don't, then I'm not going to disrespect someone and release content they don't want out. But guys, it was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was so funny, that video.
Thank you, Pearl.
Thanks, Pearl. Appreciate it.
No problem. Let me go to my man.
Thank you for watching Mentuition. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you please subscribe to our new main channel, youtube.com/@Mentuition. We will be posting all of our new content on the new main channel. That includes clips, behind-the-scenes footage, and live streams with ladies and special guests. We live stream from Miami's Design District, every Monday and Tuesday at 8 p.m. Follow us on TikTok at Mentuition Academy and on Instagram at Mentuition Academy. Class is dismissed.